Hi everyone, today I am going to show you something a little bit different, and I normally hand cut most of my glitter bows, but I actually made a deal with my sister and basically I gave her the money so she could upgrade to the Sizzix Big Shot Pro, and this is the basic one, because there's a couple of dies that have come out recently that require the Pro rather than this standard size one. So she basically gave me her old one and she now has a Big Shot Pro. So this is the Sizzix Big Shot Machine. Now these were actually designed more for making card and scrapbooking. So like I said, they were designed for the thin lit dies, but obviously it's now something that we use a lot in the bow making world. So I was going to show you a couple of tricks and talk about a few things. So this is the machine. Obviously it's got the handle. This is one of the hand crank ones. You also need 2 plates, and do not be concerned if they look like this after a little bit, especially your first one. When they go through, you'll hear a huge crack and there'll be marks all over your plates and you'll be like, oh my god, what have I done? But no, this is normal. And I've also got one of the wooden die cuts, which this one is from Joe Leaf, and I will also be showing you one from Pixie Dot bow supplies as well. So like there's 2 different ones. This is from Joe Leaf Craft Supplies, Pixie Dot supply. So like this one is the Pixie bow die, and this one is the Betty mid die. So like I said, there's 2 different ones there. And like I said, you can buy these directly from Big Shot, you can buy them from Amazon and things like that, but for bow making you can choose the sort of £54 option, and you'll get the machine, you'll get 2 plates, and you'll also get an adapt plate. Now the adapt plate is more related to cardstock related making rather than bow making. So like I said, the main things that you need to concern yourself when you're buying one is the main machine and your plates, and then you buy these dies from different suppliers, and like I said, there's quite a few. I'll list a couple in the description box below for you. So I'm just going to show you, because the other thing that people ask a lot about these ones is how much waste you get compared to hand cutting. So I thought I'd show you a couple of tricks, because a thing that a lot of people do is we tend to buy our fabric in A4 sheets, cut it down to the size of the die. This is the Betty mid die one. You sandwich it between the plates like so. So plate at the bottom, die, fabric, plate on the top. Then you put this through the machine and you crank your handle. Like so. And what happens is you get your bow pieces, but as you can see, that is an awful lot of waste. So a trick I've learnt for these ones that are especially quite evenly spaced is I take a piece of card, and what I do is I sandwich that between, like we did before. There we go. I'm just going to move this out of the way a second. So we now have some card cutouts of our die. And what we can do with this second piece of material is I've got a ruler and I have an air erasable marker, which I got from Caraway Cottage. And what you can do with these is place them on your piece of material. You do want to do a little bit extra. I use my ruler. What you can do, mark off that square, arc of that square. So that's 2 bow pieces from there. And then obviously we've got a tail. So we don't need as much for that. And also from our other piece, with quite a bit of waste, what we can do is we might be able to see if we can find a space for, yes, we've got enough to make another tails here, so we'll be able to make 2 bows worth from the scraps of this one. And our other part of the machine cut, rather than just 1 bow's worth from using that sheet by itself. So then cut your squares out. There's one. Move these out the way. And it also means if you want to make a bow with different colours, you can use these to cut the right amount out. So if you wanted like mint tails and a slightly different colour body, this is a good way to do it and only use a small amount of material rather than a lot. And then the other thing is, where's our little, this, we need 2 of these little centres. Okay. So got 2 bits for our centres. And because this is thinner material, we can put both these sheets through at the same time. So what we do instead of putting that one sheet like we did before, we now individually place these where we need them to be. And like I said, don't worry if it overlaps into the other part of the bow a little. Okay. And do the smaller one underneath. Hold this firmly together so nothing slips. And then we can move our machine back in. That's out the way. And as you can see, from the same amount of fabric as we just had before, we now have 2 bows worth of cuts and an awful lot, just move these that way, an awful lot less waste. So as you can see, this is how much you get compared to all of this. So like I said, it makes a big difference. There is certain dyes, and this is why I got the Pixie one out in the first place for you. So this is the Pixie Dot bow. And I have got some stunning these are some that I made earlier, and the fabric is from So Pretty, and it's like got a little shimmer to it as well. There you go. And this one is a layered bow, so you can do it with less layers if you want to. I like building the whole bow out of it though, because I think it looks really pretty. So that's the style that you get. And as you can see, again, when we talk about waist comparison, you get a lot less on this. You get some, but you can use the edges to do centres and things like that for other bows. So just to give it a little colour. So like if you've got a black bow and you wanted just a little pop of leopard print, you could use this to cut your centres and things like that. But it's not a lot of waste in comparison to, say, the Betty bow by doing it. So like I said, I've got these two pieces. What I'm going to do is, because they're thin, like I said, you can put up to 2 through at a time, just for saving time. And this is so much neater than cutting by hand, because like I said, I'm okay at hand cutting. But if you're not great, or you need to save some time, these machines are a godsend, or a lifesaver, whichever you prefer. So, fit it in. And crank it through. And again, don't worry about those cracking noises, that is completely natural. So there's one colour. And that is my second colour. And there we go. Like I said, we can use the rest of these for little bits and pieces. That goes with that one. And there's a couple of little tips for using your bow dies. The other thing is when you have these in storage, don't ever leave your machines like this, because there's a possibility that they damage the dies and the die shapes, and it can sort of blunten the blades. The other thing to do is, if you ever have this happen where your blades aren't cutting as well, what you can do is you can put a piece of tin foil and layer it exactly as you would your fabric, put it through and crank it through as you would normally, and it will slightly sharpen your blades without damaging your dies. But like I said, only do it once every so often, not on a regular basis. It's just, like I said, just a little trick to sharpen it just a tiny bit without doing damage. So let's glue some of these together. We will do one bobby bow, and I'll do this version of the Pixie Dot one, and the Pixie Dot die is £35. This Mid Betty die is £29.99. You can also get the plastic templates that you can hand draw around. The Pixie Dot one is £6.50. The Mid Betty is £2.50. So like I said, there is some slight difference, but obviously you get a lot more layers with this one, and I like it because it's really cute, because you can do little fringe clips from your butterflies if you don't want to put them in the side or the centre. So get a couple of clips as well, and I'm going to get a couple of hold clips for this one. I'm going to do this one first. thought I was missing a piece for a second. I'm not, it's just layered. So I start with the biggest one. You want to touch your glue just here. Just in the centre. And you bring your pieces in from the sides like this. There is that one. And I'm just going to use that to hold that while I wait for the other layers. Again. Touch your glue in the centre. Bring your edges in. And like I said, just use that one to hold while I wait for that to set. That's a little bit. Excuse me, that's my glue gun falling over. One, two, bring it in from the sides. There we go. And now we'll build the bow. And these bits where the centres, that is the back, so where we've glued, that is the back layer, so we want this at the top. So we're going to take the largest piece first. I'm going to put a little bit of glue across the back there. These are the tails. You want these facing, so the white side's facing up towards you. Be careful with that glue dot. Work out where you want those. Okay, that's how I want them to sit. Another dot of glue here, don't go overboard. And again, like I said, that crease where we joined it is at the back. Lay that one like so. And then just a little bit of glue back here. And layer that on the centre. Make sure it's all lined up. This is what you have. Put those out the way now. And there's two middles. You can either do the bigger one with the dot, or you can do the skinnier one like so, depending on which you personally prefer. And this is also, you get two because again, you can separate this out. You don't have to do this as many layers. You can play around them and have loads of different looks to this bow, which is why it's one of my favourite ones. And it's great value, even though it's a little bit more expensive than the mid-belly. Okay, touch glue on the end there, and we're going to wrap this round the back of the clip. So pop that through there and hold it a second, and then we're going to wrap it round, and I'm going to add a touch of glue just here to hold it. Through the layers, and we'll put a dot of glue here. Good. Open the clip back up and fold that down, and there you go. Like I said, you can leave that as so. The other thing you could do is, if you've got your clip here and you've got one that's the right size, this is a 30, this is a 32 or a 35, you can glue your clip to this and add your little, do a little fringe clip like that as a little set. So like I said, it's a really cute bow to play around with and things like that. And like I said again, you can glue your butterfly to the centre. You can glue it to the side, this side. You can glue it here. You can do a completely different colour and add it wherever you want. Like I said, if you wanted a black one just to make it pop a little, you can do that. So like I said, it's a really fun, cute die. And like I said, it's great value for the price. And then we've got the slightly more simple one. This is a pinch one. So this means that we have to do a little bit of a pinch to it to get it to sit. And basically we do this. So it has like the little dips either side, which you can see on this version, like so. So again, we want a bit of glue here. I'm going to do the tabs. Okay. And we're going to bring those into the centre. Like so. Hold those for a second. And then we fold it up. And then we want to go down either side, like so. So you get this look on either side with your dips. Okay. I want a touch of glue just that side, and a little bit that side. Don't go massively overboard because we want them to glue. We don't want it to seep over the side and hurt your fingers. Okay, so that's those bits. And then let that open a little bit. And again, don't go overboard on your glue here. You only want a little bit to keep it closed in the centre without overloading the gap and having it come out either side. And hold that. And again, I'm just going to take this clip and use that to hold it a second, and that's what you look. That's your front, sorry, the front, and that is the back. Okay, and then we want our piece here, which is the tails. A little bit of glue across there. Place that on the centre. Like so. And again, and we've got our clip. A bit of glue across there. Glue that to the back, and then we've got our middle again. Touch of glue. Drop your glue gun. Open the clip up and wrap round. And I'm going to add a bit more glue because that didn't stick entirely. And that was my fault because I didn't hold it. Hold it long enough. There we go, that's better. Always give it a second to set before you start moving. And there you go. There is your cute mid Betty pinch bow. Like I said, you can play around with the materials. The softer leatherettes work better for pinch bow styles on any of these kind of pinch bow dies. If you're using the glitters and whatnot, it can be done, especially the thinner ones, but it is a little bit trickier. So hopefully this has taught you a few tips and you've enjoyed watching. Thanks for watching. Bye.